All right. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Nick. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. Actually, a couple of nice sunny days out here in Seattle. Well, you're in Tacoma, I guess, so you're completely different
Yeah.
weather system.
It's been cold actually.
Yeah.
It feels like winter. I like it.
Yeah, I had to close my window
I
finally
do like
last night. It finally got to that point.
I had a furlough at my work, so I was out for 3 months. And in those 3 months, I got absolutely nothing done.
Yeah, I
And
definitely had a good
no,
month or
yeah,
two of nothing.
yeah. I talked to a lot of people. I did a lot of Zoom meetings or just Zoom calls with friends and played a lot of online games, but I had I have a backlog of movies to watch, and I have so many projects in the works and I don't think I've finished anything, which is really sad, which goes to show that it's not that I don't have time to make projects. It's just that I'm lazy. Definitely lazy.
All right. Well, that's probably a good segue then. So, how did you start getting into, well, we'll start with podcasting, I guess, but just what was your basis for interest in that?
So I started listening to podcasts in 2011, 2000 or 2012, and it was I didn't really understand the whole purpose of them, but I think it might have been like a tweet from like a comedian. I think it was Tim Heidecker was like, "Oh, listen to me on this podcast on Comedy Bang Bang." And I looked it up, and then I went to that show, uh, and I started scrolling through all the episodes, and I saw like, oh, there's so many like famous people on
Yeah.
this podcast. There's like Sarah Silverman, there's Tim Heidecker, there's Rob Corddry. There was just like a lot of people. I was like, so I just started downloading everything and listening to them, and that happened to be an improv podcast. But then I was like, okay, what else is there? So I typed in at the time, like Tim Heidecker, and all these other shows came up.
Right,
like he was on a show called Nerdist, which is The Nerdist, which was a talk show podcast with Chris Hardwick. These are all just like names people might not know at all. Like, I don't know. But his show was essentially an interview with him and another guest.
Yeah.
And they were all celebrities, and it was all like how they got into the business. And I found that so fascinating. I just thought that was like, oh, this is like the interviews on Conan O'Brien or Jimmy, or
Exactly.
I don't really watch TV, but yeah. And so I was like, this is so cool that they get to do this. And after listening to it for like 2 or 3 years, I just thought like, hey, I have a plethora of friends that I could talk to who I find very interesting. I find all my friends very interesting. Why don't I just start, asking them just questions and things like that? It's not an original idea. There's like a million podcasts out there, but that's how I started. I talked to my friend Phil, who was kind of like someone I bounced these like creative ideas I'd have, which are like I'd get like 100 a week and not do them at all. But I was just like, hey, what if we just, what if you and I got together and we like bought microphones for our phones and then just go to like a friend's house and just like have a conversation. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. And like, I called him with that idea. And that day we like met up. I think this was like 2014, it was in 2014. We met up, drove to Best Buy, bought like a Xbox 360 headset that you could plug into your phone. And then I think I had like an Apple, like whatever kind of like earbud things that come with a little microphone on it. And we start calling friends like, hey, what are you doing today? What are you doing today? What are you doing today? And like, I think like the third person that was available to shoot that we could talk or that answered the phone, said they're free, was Gabe Blackford and our friend Gabe. And so we asked them like, hey, can we come over to your house and record like a podcast? So we went over to his house. We didn't even have a name for the podcast. We didn't have like any kind of structure. It was just, let's just go and have a conversation. So we went to his house. We went to like his his little like nursery. He didn't have his kid yet, but he had like a spare bedroom, and we all turned our phones on, pressed record on our phones, like 3 different phones, and just started talking. And that kind of like, and then like at that point we're like, hey Gabe, do you want to be a host on this podcast? And we came up with the name on the show. We asked him if he wanted to be a host. Like we had a blast just like talking about whatever. And that kind of sparked like this excitement of like, this is my new project. This is going to be so much fun because I can talk to all my friends, and I just like have so much more confidence when I'm just like recording with someone, because it's kind of like a performance, and I feel like I am a sort of a performer. So this is my show now, like come and be on my show type of thing. And that went on for I think like a year or two of doing that show, and it was really fun.
Well, like Chris Hardwick, that's what he started off with too, is basically him and Matt just got together and just started it, and then Jonah came on shortly after, and it was just them, talking. And there was fortunately he had some connections with comedians, because I guess he was still doing stand-up at the time, but it was amazing that those first couple of years were great. And then he's still obviously still doing it, and I don't listen to him as much as I used to. If there's still a good person on, I'll every once in a while I'll listen to it, but there's so many podcasts out there now, it's kind of hard to.
There's definitely things that evolved from like other comedians doing those types of shows, and I feel like maybe even doing it better. What's funny is like Chris' origin story is he was actually on a podcast with Natasha Leggero. And if anyone knows that name, she's another comedian, and she kind of like gave him the idea, because she had a podcast where she would bake lasagna and then like have a friend over and they'd eat lasagna and like talk. And Chris was like, wow, so you could just like do this, like you could just like talk on a radio equivalent and like put it out there and people listen to it. So that was his origin story. I thought that was super interesting, and I was just like, after I heard that, I was like, I want to do that. I can do that.
You could be stuck at your home for 6 months and just decide that you're going to start a podcast. Hashtag Corona, hashtag
COVID-19. I actually did do some creative things. I don't know why I said that. I think that just comes with like the artist side. You're just always so down on yourself. But I actually did start a podcast during my furlough. It was an Instagram live podcast and live video. And I would just Instagram, because everyone was home. So I would just Instagram live them for an hour, because that was the time limit on Instagram.
You doing favorite movies or something at the time, or a little bit of everything?
No, that one was just, how are you doing in COVID? Like, what's up? And I think like just kind of like a quick get, like, what's up? Who are you? And let's play a game at the end type of thing.
Nice.
Right now, I don't have that podcast I just talked about. That one was called Triple Scoopers. I actually you can maybe find it online, but it's not posted on like Apple Podcasts or any or Spotify or anything. But the podcasts I have now are Nicflix and Chill.
Yeah.
And another one called Mixed, Tapes, Feelings, and Drinks. Nicflix being about movies, and Mixed being about like people's favorite. We try to do like our friends' top 3 songs and like the emotions tied to those songs. That's what I got going with podcasts now.
Well, interest in movies is actually a good segue to how I first met you.
That's right.
What about movies, Nick? What do you know about them?
So remind me, when was the first time we met?
Well, we probably met some random shoot somewhere with Kevin Murphy or something. But I think basically big involvement was just being in those couple of scenes for
yes. So actually, you were in a movie that we never finished first. No, wait, no, that was last. Okay, sorry. Yes, no, you were a character in Julian Rossignol's and I's feature-length film the making of. That was actually our second movie, and you played like a jerk, I guess, just like our rival, one of our rivals. And yeah, we were just, I don't like, we just needed you. I think we actually wrote that part for you because yeah, I mean, of course we did. Why wouldn't we have? And yeah, I guess that was the first time we met. Unless you made a video with Julian beforehand. But anyways, yeah, video is making movies, making videos, probably my most favorite thing to do when it comes to the activities that I involve myself in. And making that movie was a lot of fun. What was the question? Sorry.
No, it's okay. What
I was rambling.
Well, I said, what do you know about that? But I knew, where did you guys start doing that? Like, or when did you guys start doing that?
Oh, okay. So I started making videos when I was a kid with my aunt's like camcorder. I feel like a lot of people have that start of like, I had like a mini DV, like tape cassette type recorder. And like, I didn't even have a computer to edit on. So it was all in camera editing, and it was all like stop motion with all like the little toys I had around. So I was fascinated with that. And I always loved, I mean, I feel like everyone grows up watching movies and they love movies. So I was no different when it comes to that stuff. But
yeah, but there's definitely different levels. I mean, as far as movie enjoyers, lots of people are just kind of surface level, oh yeah, I saw that movie, it was popular, or I saw that movie, a friend told me. Whereas I think somebody that actually researches movies and like looks forward to certain movies has a little bit more of a
oh wait, no, not everyone does that. Huh, interesting. Then I met my friend Julian Rosignol, who when I was 18, and we kind of we realized that we both love making videos, so we started making sketches, and just like that's kind of just like that started everything for me. That started like the collaboration, at least. I mean, we made 2 movies. We've made like probably over 100 videos together. And like, and that started when I was 18. I'm 30 now, and we haven't stopped. Like, I don't think there's been a year we haven't made a video together since then. It's just been.
Yeah, I thought you guys knew each other a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I met him I met him during high school. But yeah, he was like doing Running Stars, so I didn't really hang out with him too much in high school. Right? What a loser. But yeah, it was it's fun, and there's so much to it because I make comedies with Julian, but on my own, like if I were to make videos by myself, it's a lot of it's comedy, but it's also like I really like to do like surrealist things, and just kind of, I don't know, just like a whatever kind of idea I have, I just like to put it out there. A lot of montages. I used to do a lot of montages of just hanging out with friends, and that kind of like took me into like the business side of making videos, making money by doing wedding videos. And so I did that for quite a while, but yeah, it's good. It's fun.
What would you say as far as what you've put into it versus the enjoyment? Where would you rate that as far as money wise? And
I can't mix hobby and work well. It just becomes like a massive drag. Like I hope one of our friends, Brandon O'Leary, doesn't listen to this, but he gave me a great opportunity to do some video editing, and I botched it because I worked from home and I was editing videos, and I just I just can't work from home, so I was like, oh, maybe I was just doing such a bad job. Like he asked me to do like this many videos, and I do like half of them in a day. And he's like, hey, do you want to do more? And I'd be like, not really. I can't do it. And so I was like, maybe I just can't work from home. Maybe that's it. But then I would do those wedding videos, and yeah, they were just like, I'd shoot it, which would be fine because you could shoot it in a day. But then when it came to editing it, I was just miserable. I was like, this is the worst. I feel like all my creativity is sucked out of me. I feel like this is it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the enjoyment comes with like being able to kind of make it what I want it to be and not what like people ask of me.
Yeah, I know several people in the wedding video / photography field, and it's definitely a whole nother animal. You have to be, it's to say the word, you have to be in love with love, I think is the saddest like statement. But realistically, that's what shooting wedding stuff is you have to,
oh yeah,
you know, you have to be the happiest, this is the best day ever type of person on the outside. And it's not always easy to be that person.
No. And I've actually, the very first wedding video I did it for free. And that's one of my favorite videos because they didn't ask for it. And I was like, I'll just make your guys' video. And then I did it, and I did anything I wanted to do. I shot whatever I wanted. I edited it however I wanted. Like I didn't ask for notes. I gave them to them as a gift, and it's one of my favorites. And then I think the wedding video that I charged the most for, I took forever to give to them because it just took everything out of me to finish. I was just like, they had so many notes, and I was just like, I just can't do this. So I stepped out of the ring when it came to pursuing that. And I think if I were ever do it again, it would just have to be like someone I'm close to, and I'll be like, hey, I'll do your guys' video for free because it's the only way you can get it done, and I'll like it.
Yeah, I know several people that have come to that same conclusion with wedding stuff, and some amazing like photographers and videographers and stuff like that, that just the emotional draw that goes into that day of somebody's life that isn't your life. So you don't have the same connection, but you have to pretend you do, and you have to make it come out in your work also.
Oh, that's so tough. There's a trick is you just record people who are smiling and all the time. And it's just like, oh, look, everyone's having a great time at this wedding. That's pretty much it.
Just put that to music and
yeah, that's all you got to do. And I think that's why, once I realized that, I was like, that's what sucked out the enjoyment. Because I was just like, this is so simple. This is the same thing over and over and over again. I think I've only did like 10 wedding videos, and like by the 5th one I'm like, oh, this is where they walk down the aisle, this is where you get that emotional pan of the attenders, and then the attendants or whatever,
you
and
try
then
to stay away from the mom because she's going to tell you how to do your job.
yeah, over there. And then you get the kiss, and that's where the music crescendos, and then you cut to them going into the reception, and you get the people smiling and laughing at the reception. It just became like a plug and play type of thing, and I was bored.
So you've always stuck more to video than actual photography, or did you do? I mean, I'm not talking about wedding stuff. I'm just talking about in general.
So I've always been intimidated by photography. I think that people, there's like, I'm just like, there's people out there that know so much more than I do when it comes to how to take a great photo. And I just don't want to compete with that. Or I just like, don't even want to throw like my hat in the ring for that kind of thing and like to stand out. And I think video at the time was just like, no one in my friend group other than Julian was doing it. And he wasn't doing this same kind of stuff I was doing. So, and then the people that I knew of, like Kevin Murphy, or sorry for people who have no idea who these people are.
Oh, people know Kevin Murphy.
All right. Kevin Murphy, just for you random listeners out there, he's a very talented artist. But he was doing video that I saw like clips of, and Brandon O'Leary, another talented artist, was doing video. And those are like kind of the two that I can think of other than Julian. And it was like a niche market when it came in, like when it became like my world.
Right.
So I was like, I want to like build this. I want to kind of just like, you know, stand out in that sense. So yeah, I focused more so on that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, like with even setting this stuff, the podcast up, just the little bit of world I've had to go into with like camera lenses and stuff, and so far over my head. Whereas
Yeah.
video is pretty straightforward. It's pretty, I mean,
Yeah.
you can, if you're like doing cinematography stuff, obviously you can get pretty deep into like lenses and all that as well. But
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, and that's another thing is a lot of, because like I was doing video growing up, a lot of people would be like, oh, I want to do that too. How do I get, like, what do I need to know? What do I need to do in order to do it as well? And things like that. And they come to me for advice, right. And I am just terrible at giving advice because, I mean, growing up, like the way I learned was just, you know, just doing it.
Yeah.
Like you just go out there and you do it. And that's not great advice, but honestly, that's the best way to do it, is to just, I mean, and everyone has a video camera. Like your phone, like iPhone cameras are amazing. They shoot 4K. They have like stabilization. I was shooting a video like for a film festival on my camera, and it looked great. So no one really has an excuse to not just start. You just have to have an idea and kind of go for it. And I know that's kind of silly to say. It's like not that inspiring, but
no, it's reality though. It's, you know, we're usually our biggest blocker for any type of progression. Or at least in my case, right. I know.
No, for sure. We're definitely like our harshest critic, and yeah, it's people, and I think people want their first project to be equivalent to someone doing it for a decade type of thing. So they'll go on YouTube and be like, I want to do that, and then they try it and they're like, I can't do it. And I'm like a victim of that too. Like I can't, like I would love to be like an illustrator, just like to draw, and I've tried so many times, and I'm just like, I have so many talented friends who are artists and like do paintings. So like I'll try and do my vision, and then I'll like, you know, look over at their paper. I'm like, okay, well, I'm garbage. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'll just crumple this up and throw it away. Why do I even try? Which is silly, because if I really wanted to get into it, then I can just keep practicing. Practicing is what makes perfect. Is that what the saying is?
That is a saying.
That is a saying. Is it true though?
I mean, to a degree, like you can practice making a perfect circle and eventually you'll make a perfect circle. But to use that circle artistically along with several other shapes is a whole nother thing. And I think that's something that people do have a little bit more inclination towards. Like I know some people that have been in art school or around art classes their whole lives, and a lot of their work is never impressed me ever.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So they're taught. I mean, they know the functionality of how to use these things.
Right.
But that's the drive and the artistic vision, I don't know, is always there. Right.
Or just any like making something that's interesting.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I have a fear of that. I feel like when it comes to my videos that are kind of a little bit more surreal, I don't think I found like a couple people that are like fans of it, but it's not really like a general audience type videos. So it could be like a little bit disheartening. I mean, how do you feel when it comes to anything you do? Like, do you make things for yourself, or do you kind of like get more satisfaction from the response of the things you do?
I would say it's a little bit of a mixed bag with me. I am a socialite a little bit, EF, whatever. I can't remember what the whole. So some of my personality does look for the gratification from others. But I also, doing painting and stuff like that, had spent a bunch of time making personal artwork that never sold, and then made some generic artwork that I sold a ton of. So it's this, it's this battle of like, do I put my heart and soul into something, or do I put soup on the table?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's like that's combining your art with work, and that was like the wedding videos with me. Like, hey, this is gonna make me money, but it's not gonna make me happy.
Yeah, and even this podcast, I mean, I enjoy this because I'm talking to people who I'm interested in. I'm not looking for people that are just random nobodies off the street. The people I've interviewed so far and the people I've asked to do interviews of all people that I've been following and, watching them grow or watching them, express themselves for years already. And also to get some inspiration for myself to do more artistically. I kind of phased out of that world for quite a while.
Got to get in that acting.
Yeah.
Got to get you back in there.
I'll have to put a clip up of my fine acting skills if I have license to do that.
Yes. Our movie got taken down, copyright strikes, because obviously we used music feed that we didn't own. But
somebody happens to have a hard copy.
Oh, hey. Oh my gosh. I always forget. I don't even have that. Like, I have all these movies back here and none of them are any of mine.
I bugged Julie until finally he got me a hard copy.
Yeah.
I believe I paid for it even. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. We were just the worst. Yeah, I think Julian still has some hard copies. I think I just have it on my hard drive, but it'd be nice to have a physical copy again. He has like a huge poster of that movie in his room.
Oh, that's funny.
Because he accidentally sent in the wrong dimensions. So it's gigantic. It's this gigantic poster in his room. And yeah, it's pretty cool actually. But you should post some scenes with your of your dad as well.
Yeah, that's a whole other
Oh my gosh, he is in, I think, multi. He's not only in. He's like, didn't someone else use him for a video?
Yeah, Kevin used him. Augie might have used him. Mm-hmm. Augustus.
Bill. Yeah, I think we've used him twice.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, he's great.
He loves it.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Have you ever?
Let's watch.
I was gonna say, have you had friends who just outright denied, or not denied, like never wanted to be in anything you've produced?
There's people who aren't confident enough that, will like tell them like, hey, we got this thing for you, and they're just like, I can't do that. Actually, that's Allie. That's my wife, where I write things for her and she's like, no. Like, she's actually, I shouldn't say that. She's actually a very good sport about doing things. That's the thing, is like projects are like the ones I do with Julian. When it comes to doing projects for free, it is like, I can't pay, or I guess I could pay people, but it's really just a lot of just passion projects, or just like things that are fun. And that was like the main thing, is Julie and I made all those videos not because, people were asking us to, or we were submitting them to film festivals or anything, or to be noticed. It was just, this is something we do for fun to pass time. And this is just based off our friendship. So when we would get friends to be in our videos, it would be people who actually wanted to be in them. And there'd be rare occasions where it'd be like, hey, we make videos. Do you want to be in it? I was just comfortable with like, hey, I make videos with my friends, and that's probably never going to stop. So I don't care what other people think. I like to make people laugh. I like to make people like be entertained. I like to entertain people. So it's just always going to be a thing that we do. Sorry.
It's good. It's I don't think it, by any means, anything you have to stop. It'd be interesting to see where, 15 years down the road, where this leads to, or where it, what has changed in procedure or something by that time. I mean, COVID's probably changed a little bit of what you guys do right now.
Oh yeah, we have filmed during quarantine, and it's like it's tough because we wear masks, and then there was a scene where I have my hand on Julian's shoulder, and then like we did it, and then after and then we went home, and then he called me and he was like, I don't know about this, man. I don't know if we can keep filming anymore. And I was like, dude, I get it. This is a little too tough. So I think next time we film, because we haven't filmed in a minute, we're gonna get tested and wear masks and like social distance for sure.
Yeah.
Because can't mess around, man. Can't mess
I was
around.
hearing or watching a clip. So how long did you live in Hawaii?
I lived in Hawaii from 2010, September 2010. So I think September 2011. I think it was a full year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was fun. Wait, why do you ask?
No, I didn't know if you grew up there or.
Oh yeah, I was born there. And I was only there till 4. My dad was in the Air Force, so he got stationed in North Dakota, and then we moved to Washington when I was 7. And yeah, I've been here ever since. But then I went back down to Hawaii, made some friends, got a van, slept in that a lot. I bought my first DSLR camera, and that's when I started making my own videos, actually, with like as an adult. Yeah. And or early 20s adult. And yeah, I started making montages with that thing.
Cool beans.
But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I didn't learn anything in Hawaii. I don't know if I grew too much. I worked at a ukulele shop, got paid under the table, $8 an hour. I got paid at the end of every week. And yeah, my rent was like $300, and my parents paid for my phone bill. So I was just living life.
Living the dream.
Like living the dream, doing nothing, like skateboarding every day with friends and just not getting into trouble for some reason.
When you're away from everything and could have been.
Right, exactly. I was a pretty good kid at the time.
Yeah, I
didn't drink or anything like that. So yeah.
So let's see. Let's get back here onto topics a little bit.
Yes.
What do you say as far as what would be a good starter camera or equipment if you want to go podcast route for people? You mentioned earlier cell phones, but what if they wanted to step it up to the next game?
I think if that's the thing is like start with your phones if that's all you have, and make sure it's something that you want to do. And at that point, if you know you want to do it, you're going to figure it out. I could give you a suggestion of like what you could get, but I don't know. I just think like whatever you go with is going to work.
Yeah.
I think like making your own path with like your own research and making it your own in that sense is pretty I think it adds more original. I don't know, I might be wrong about that. But I just think I appreciate it. Like for instance, you making this, like I'm not sure how you like who you talk to or whatever, but it doesn't matter because you made it on your own.
Right.
And you reached out to people. Like I know you reached out to me when it came to making the logo and things like that, but you did it yourself. And I respect that a lot, versus people who say like, hey, how do I do this? And then if you give them an answer, they don't really, go with it. And there's just no follow through most of the time. Or if like if someone says like, hey, what do I need to do a podcast? And I was like, hey, this is what you need. And like, oh, that's too expensive. And so they just stop like right there. It's like, I can't do, that's way too expensive. I don't care.
Maybe I should have stopped with the expense at some point.
Yeah, man, you got a killer setup for sure. But I think like, but you're interested in doing that. And I think that's really cool. And like you did your research and you figured it out. So I think for people out there who want to do podcasts, like when it comes to equipment, just use what you have, be innovative, be creative with it. Always strive to do something better when it comes to your format or your show, or like being interesting, editing out the ums and ahs, and and just try to, I don't know, just try to have fun with it too. And if it's like, add your own little spin to it, and just, I don't know. But if you want to be a gearhead about it, I have a Zoom H6. It's like a 6-track recorder, and I have like a bunch of XLR cables and just like cheap condenser microphones. Condenser?
Yeah.
I don't even know. On that I got off Amazon, and that's it.
Yeah, I think Amazon has definitely changed the whole gear buying world. I mean, if you can get the stuff you're looking for, if you're looking for, sometimes the newest, hottest item is not available. But as far as a cheap foreign knockoff, there's probably about 20 of them.
Oh yeah. And I really stress that use what you have, because I know some people, and I'm sorry if you're listening to this and this is you, but I know people who won't make something until they have the best camera.
Right.
Like, once I get that camera, I will start making videos. And it's just like, I don't think that's true. I think you're going to get that camera once you do, and you're not going to make videos because you have a phone and you can make videos now, and you're just not doing it.
Well, there's definitely a bit of where the mentality of, this is going to enable me to do something. I know there's a lot of people like with exercise and stuff like that. Well, I can't exercise unless I get this total gym monster machine. When you can go out and walk every day, and that's still exercise.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know. But that being said, I really do respect the people that I want to stress that, because it's just, I'm just impressed by people who just start things. It's so hard to start something, and then to do it, and then to finish it. Like, just finishing something, like, even if it's like not quote unquote good, it still impresses me. Like, hey, you did that. You went out of your way and you did that. That's really cool.
Well, I definitely know I'll be sending stuff for you to critique then, because I I need the confidence, man.
Okay. I got you.
What do you got down the pipeline? What are you, Julian, working on? You got anything to promote?
Oh my gosh. I have like 1-2 videos I'm working on by myself, and I came up with a new idea the other day that I need to write down. And Julian and I started a podcast that we haven't even posted. Like, we have like 3 episodes we haven't even posted because we want to like do more of that. Anyway, we're in the middle of making this kind of like cinematic, kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen like our Spider trilogy, or
a little bit, yeah.
And they're kind of like these comedy videos, but that's like a lot more cinematic and a lot of like work. But I don't know why we do this. Every time we sit down and write something, we're just like, okay, let's do that again, but let's make another video, but let's just like make it easy. Like, I don't know why we're making it so hard. And then like, while we're making it, like, we're just like throwing out more ideas. Like, okay, now we got to build the monster. Now we got to order the plaster to put on the monster. We're like, it's just insane. And we're in the middle of doing that. COVID's obviously like kind of halted us for now. So there's that video. I actually, during quarantine, during COVID in general, I threw a film festival, like a online film festival. So I encouraged everyone. I was like, hey guys, make videos and then submit them, and then I'll put them together, and we'll have a Zoom call, and YouTube was great for that, because you could upload a video and premiere it at a specific time, so everyone can just go on their TVs, and then like it starts at 6:15, and like you have like 100 plus people watching at the same time. So I had people like around the world watching that festival, because friends of friends were inviting each other, and that was really, really fun, and it was really cool, and it definitely gave me the confidence boost to start making videos again, especially now. And I mean, there's a lot of people in that festival that made videos with their phones, and they did such a good job. But yeah, I want to do that again. So that's going to be maybe like in the winter time when everyone's definitely at home and they can't really go out. It's like right now or in this summer, it's like, oh yeah, COVID, but at least we can go on hikes. But then in the winter, it's like, oh yeah, COVID, but we're going to stay indoors and watch movies all day. Um, so yeah, I think there's that. And then I still have my podcasts going on, Nicflix and Chill, and my other that which is about talking about my friends. I have that podcast is about having a friend on, and they talk about one of their favorite movies, which is fun. And then I have a podcast with my friend Holland Smith, and called Mixed, and we drink mixed drinks.
Ooh.
And talked about mixed tapes, like our friends' favorite songs. All of my projects have to do with friends. There's an ongoing theme here. So with that one's a little tough. We have to do a social distance podcast with that because it's me and her co-hosting. So we usually like go in her backyard and kind of sit far away, and like with our thankfully with my recorder we can like sit a distance away and record, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, that's still going on. Mixed tapes, feelings, and drinks. And yeah, I want to make more videos. I want to make more like 1 minute videos on my Instagram Vomnik, and I want to do more comedy. I want to do more surreal things. I want to do more montages, and I want to like kind of just experiment with other stuff. And I don't know, it just doesn't stop. The ideas don't stop. It's an illness.
Well, if that's the case, I think more people need to catch that. I think a lot of people they might even like stifle their creativity, like think that because they don't believe they're good enough, they don't actually start something or don't actually, endeavor into trying new things. So that's kind of what this podcast is all about, really, is just kind of show people where they started and how they got into what they're into.
Oh, okay. So that's cool.
And
I will say though, like as someone who I've accomplished or I've finished projects, I still have that. I still have the doubt, weighing me down with projects. But I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you why I finished things. I don't know.
Well, there's also the factor where you do enough things that if you don't finish something today, there's 3 other things that you have finished, maybe, within that time period. That's the word. Yeah.
Time period. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So the more you do, the more you can finish.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't know if I've imparted any wisdom. I am actually very like self-deprecating when it comes to my art. It's really hard to talk about things you do other than the fact like, hey, I love doing this. I don't know if it's any good, but I like it. Yeah. It's fun.
Well, I think that's the best part of being an artist sometimes is it's the enjoyment you get out of it, not always, other people's opinions on it.
Yeah, that's true. You have to make sure to not let that get to you.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great, interview, man. I look forward to the future endeavors of Nick and crew.
Yes.
Well, maybe we'll get.
I gotta have you on all my podcasts.
Yeah. I'll get Julian on here one of these days and just get the down and dirty on how he's been working with this other creative part. And
oh yeah, he's doing a lot.
All right, man.
That's good.
Well, we'll talk to you again, and thanks for listening to Test Bug.
I was about to end it like, bye.
Wait, no.
What do you mean? Mikey and Gabe are supposed to make the movie together.
Do you want me to read this to you or not?
Who gets the 5 Gs?
Nobody. Nobody gets it.
Man, Grandma, why are you even reading me thing.
You know, you've been very sick. You're taking this way too serious, so I think we better stop.
No. Please, sit down. I'm all right.
Okay, I get it. Well, let's see, where were we? Ah, yes. Everybody was sad.